Yes, okay, so welcome everybody. Um, this is part two of our strategic selling series. Um, Advertising strategies, campaigns, and community connection. We have Tom and Gail with us again and gonna have them take it away.
All
Thanks,
right.
Amy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, one
Welcome,
thing, if you have
everyone.
any questions, put them in the meeting chat and I'll
Yeah.
interrupt and get them to Tom and Gail. So thank you.
Yeah. Very good. Welcome, everyone. We're so glad you could make it here today. We look forward to chatting with you. You all look very fantastic right now, at least from the shoulders up. I'm assuming shorts and sandals are maybe in play here. I'm not sure. It depends. Maybe it's a work day in your regular, but anyway, we're excited to be here. Gail Johnson's my wife, and I'm Tom Johnson, and we're going to share numerous ideas that you can take away and hopefully find some added revenue for 2026 and beyond. So we intend this to be interactive session. So please, like Amy said, just ping in and do the chat or buzz in anytime. We like to make this interactive. Last time we probably gained as much from people contributing as from us presenting. So we sure encourage you to speak up. Today, we're going to cover briefly session review from session one, which we introduced on market segmentation. We're going to talk about incorporating market segmentation into the aspects of your planning strategy, special sections, best ideas, takeaways, tweaks, maybe to fit your market. We're going to also touch on ad series of ads and looking at individual ads also and the best ideas we've seen there. So a quick note, the 11th commandment of business is in place right now. Thou shalt steal as many good ideas as thy can. So try to take some ideas and implement into your planning. So from that, I'm going to have Gail take over or comment. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, I'm welcome. Welcome. We're ready to roll.
Okay. Like I said, we're going to do a quick review of the first session that we talked last month, and it talked about market segmentation. The uh, the market segmentation, it's a structure to help identify an effective way to reach a specific target advertising sector by breaking down that market in a very systematic way. So it's a hierarchy flow chart basically, but it helps you to see and visualize targets that you might be missing. So uh, the very first part of this would be to identify the market that you are wanted to categorize or look at the different various sectors. Some examples here would be like retail, construction, food and beverage, agriculture, sports and entertainment. And then, of course, from those different groupings, you'd want to break those down further and look at those different areas of where you could extract advertising. Today, we're going to touch on healthcare and how healthcare could be blended into this hierarchical thinking process called this market segmentation. Healthcare, if you look at break it down, it's hospitals and clinics, dental, chiropractic, holistic, and then sub breaking that down from hospitals and clinics into specialties to pharmacy, mental health, chiropractic clinics, specialists again, and so forth. So you just take each sector and break that down and kind of analyze what you're looking at as far as who you can look for advertising dollars and extract advertising dollars, of course, online and in print.
Do you want
And
to
then
show
from
him the
that,
slide on that, Tom? Excuse me. You want to show him the slide
on which,
on the grid so they could kind of see how the healthcare is broken down?
sure, yeah. Uh, we've just broken down fitness, gyms, dental, hospital, even pet care. So breaking the healthcare down for advertising purposes, for looking at dollars that you can extract, run of the press, weekly ad series, Ask the Expert, so forth, special sections. You can look at different special sections that involve healthcare, planning events. You can look at different events and different out of the box ideas for selling healthcare. I don't know if you have a promotional product department or print up a calendar planner or whatever that might be, but Just kind of try to think of different ways that you could touch and use the healthcare market. And from there, Gail has some promotional ideas that kind of either further what we're talking about here and breaking that sector down.
Okay. And are you running the slides? Are we able to
Yeah,
change
Tom
slides?
should be, we need to fast forward your slideshow. It's still on the welcome page, Tom.
Really?
Yeah,
Yes.
I've been rolling right along.
Right, but it's not showing. That's what I'm wondering.
Oh, wow. Okay, yikes, how do I fix that?
there's your thing. So now I think you have to advance that way.
Advance this way?
There you go. There you
Oh,
go.
sorry.
There you
Okay.
go. There you, okay.
Wrong button. Okay. So we talked about market segmentation and the various sectors. No wonder you're lost, Gail. And this slide deck will be available to you after we're done also, so you can extract any notes for that we've gone over. And here's the grid system I was explaining, breaking down hospitals in the healthcare clinic and so forth. And here's the sub breakdown from that for the advertising purposes. And we talked about healthcare, and here we are with healthcare. Now you can see it.
There you go. So thanks. So in our last session, we showed out all different kinds of sectors, but we dived into healthcare. So today we thought we'd show a little bit of, now that we know who the target is, we're going to show a little bit of how you can promote to them throughout the year. And healthcare is a great one because healthcare provides you the opportunity to, in many ways, to keep your advertisers in front of your readers, to be top of mind and become the expert in their field, promoting their services and products. And it makes them to be the ones that people think of, when they're looking for that local person. So one of my favorites in a special section that is easy to sell year over year is a first aid guide. And that could be for your home or car when you're traveling. And the target audience on that is broad. So you have a lot of opportunities to sell advertisers that want to get in front of families, women, children, seniors, babysitters. And so this booklet, it can be the size of a booklet or a special section, has a wide variety of topics to inform your target audience. And that target audience, will be different depending on who, like seniors or families. And so that content can be from local experts, and they can participate in adding content. And you can cover topics like essentials for your first aid kit, how and where to dispose of your medication, 1-minute CPR, instruction from the American Heart Association, seizure response, what to do, what not to do. So helpful tips to kind of help them learn and have this information of their emergency numbers and so forth handy. And then this guide can be on your website year round because it has shelf life. Nothing will change. You could also print extra copies to have it at the waiting areas of healthcare providers and so forth. So this section is one that you could repeat sell and has lifelong shelf life. Now, another idea is you can do a guide on a practical guide for everyday living. So, and that could just be multiple people in healthcare. So like a healthcare wellness on everyday daily healthcare tips. But you could also do a kickoff where at the beginning of the year, it could be a 1-page or a center spread or a pullout of kick off the new year, new you, with healthy starts around resolutions, both at home and at work. So this would pull in content for companies that are hosting more wellness programs. You can incorporate that, yet for the person that's trying to incorporate some new habits in their life. So it's a twofold. And then you could have fun with this section. You could add a mini challenge. And this mini challenge, I was thinking would be fun to do, is having a bingo card. And with that bingo card, each advertiser can take a spot on the bingo card. So let's, for instance, walk 10,000 steps. Well, maybe you have a trainer and his logo's there. Maybe it's increased water intake, journal your thoughts, floss your teeth every day. Maybe there's a dental logo. So there's lots of different ways you can incorporate people on this bingo card, and it can be in print where they can cut it out, or it can be extras printed and you can give them to different areas of your advertisers for their counters, and it could be online to be downloaded. So you have multiple ways that this bingo card, which is attached to the kickoff the health new year, is available in multiple ways and for a longer period of time. You can have that up there for a full month, the next month, the first 2 months. Another one that we thought of as you're working and doing these special sections, there you can incorporate an expo with it. So now the special section on your health and wellness guide can also be a pickup when you have an expo, whether you're renting a room at a hotel or you have a community center. It gives you the opportunity to host maybe a 4-hour event selling tables to advertisers and having sponsors that they can now have one-on-one and become an expert and have face-to-face time. So you're engaging your advertisers with your readers and the public. And then there's also the series of question and answers. And that's like a healthcare spotlight. So this you can do throughout the year in a 2x5 ad where the sponsor of the ad asks the question regarding whether it's dental or fitness or physical therapy and answers the question and then ends with their contact information and logo. And it's a nice little series to have rotating throughout the year, just getting more information to people, and it's a quick read. And one other things I wanted to mention on healthcare to help you as you're trying to plan out your planner, that the national key health and recognition days in healthcare are out there. You can resource them on Google search. What is the national month? May actually holds a lot of opportunities. It's mental health, EMS week, nurses day, and so forth. July has dental and summer safety. February is your American Heart Association, and October is breast cancer. So you can tap into some of those along the way as you sit with these advertisers and look at a full year plan of how you can keep them out in front of your readership and viewers, both online and print.
All right. And we just want to tie this all together where we, came up with these ideas on healthcare, looking for different ways to extract dollars for advertising. And we just expressed a few ideas that maybe you could take away and pattern and customize to make work at your office or your region as far as extracting healthcare dollars. Any questions? Any comments? Anybody want to, mention we do this healthcare, that, or share with the group that they find that their healthcare has been a revenue source or something different, unique or different? Just go ahead and contact the chat. If not, we'll keep going. Just buzz in, Amy. Okay, we'll keep going
No
here.
questions thus far.
Okay, fine. We're going to take a look at special sections. We're going to look at different ideas that we found that were excellent, and maybe you can plug these in for your 2026 planning purposes. But these are special sections and ideas that we thought were noteworthy of discussing. So, first one here is Gary Gill's going to talk about Barron County today.
So this one was one of my first choices. So it is the answer book for your community. And again, what's great about this is once you do all the hard work of getting this content together, you have a product that is sticks online all year long. Realtors would like it as extra copies for people when they're moving into the community. Your Chamber of Commerce, it would be a helpful booklet for them to have on hand. The Spooner Advocate came up with this booklet, and it's packed full of advertising. People want to be in the sections that pertain to what they do. So there's the frequently asked questions that people have about the community, with the demographics, economic trends, the attractions, museums, schools, colleges, the libraries. There's a directory of resources on community services, health and well-being, groups and clubs, recreation, trails, and so forth. So there's something for everyone to find their niche, to be able to place their ad in a line in this booklet that is has a long life, on the website. And if you're interested in paging through this section, that is about, I think, 60 something pages. It is on the Spooner Advocate website. And if you go to the website, and we'll give you these talking notes tomorrow, we'll email them to you. It will have the full details on logistics, but you could go to their website, scroll down to their e-editions, and you click on special sections, and that's where they house all their special sections of the year and magazines. Great one to participate in. They actually had this up where neighboring adjacent communities had reached out to them and said, can you do it for our community? Can you do it for our community? So the thing just grew, and I think it could happen for you as well.
And similarly, there's the Burnett County Almanac that was yay Spooner Advocate, but they did this also, and it's an answer book, they call it. The almanac had a little twist where they had a photo contest to get the front cover there, and that photo contest is a good idea because 2 months ahead of time, three, whatever, you're kind of piquing the promotional juices of people that are interested in this coming out. And then, of course, the photo is a way to engage with your readers in that way. So that was an awesome idea. Another idea we've seen out here in Madison is called a book of lists. And the list is an answer book basically, but it's a little bit more geared toward the business side of the things. And it's I think In Business Magazine does a book of lists every year, and it's very excellent. And of course, all these sections, you want to make sure they're in print and online, and kind of drive traffic both ways. So that's the Burnett County, and again, like Gail said, you can get it at the Spooner Advocate website. Our story, this is one that we found was additionally is exciting, not exciting, interesting. Um, the front cover was done very well. Index for advertiser, 120 years of the area. They talk about the Birkebeiner County Fair, the up north flavor. The thing that I found interesting in this publication was they devoted 3 pages to fish fry, the Wisconsin fish fry, and those 3 pages, I guess, would be kind of knowing your audience, fish fries and beer and cheese curds. So for Wisconsin, but this is another excellent one, and this was the Spooner Advocate. That's again there. So we didn't realize that until Gail and I were putting this together, that these all 3 came from the same source. So they're very, very excellent.
And one thing to mention on this, our story, how they tied all the photos on the front cover. It
Oh,
just
right, yeah.
pulls you right into wanting to pick it up.
Another special section that has a unique twist I felt was uh, this section was actually sponsored by an individual real estate firm called Casey Waters team, and there's sub ads in it from banks and other institutions and so forth. But obviously, money matters, and in January coming out makes a lot of sense ahead of tax season and planning and so forth. But in the end of December, when things are a little slow, you have something to sell into January, and it's just revenue that you can pick up in January. So again, they also you can ask your professionals that are advertising it if they'd like to submit a story on 401ks and what the latest and greatest might be, or tax laws implications and so forth. But so you could, of course, invite your advertisers to submit editorial copy where they're viewed as the experts. All right, moving along. Truck driver. This is a special section that they did, and it's the thing that we'd like to point out would be you're extracting dollars from a different sector or segment that you normally wouldn't. So, truck drivers, there's different firms that would be interested in advertising and something like this. And there's actually an appreciation week that they do in September, and the oil companies or services. Uh, when you start thinking about it, there's a lot of different advertisers that pertain to truck driving. So why not go ahead and take advantage of a different sector to extract some dollars from. Whoops. Yeah. Okay, Gail, you take it away. Real estate.
So one of the things that, we want to make sure we touch upon is looking for those different ways to get different sectors into your special sections. Money that you might not be able to get otherwise in an individual ad. And the reason why I like this real estate and builders guide was one, as they normally had done a home improvement section or landscaping and garden, they took the liberty and said, hey, why don't we throw in real estate? It opens up a whole new target of advertisers. And by that, they like, what is it like to plan to build your home and tied in, not, you could have renovation as big right now as people stay in their homes, but also real estate. And so real estate opens up all the things on that you can also ask different people that work alongside real estate, which is your banking industry and your title companies and your movers. So it just opens up. We want to just show this one to say home improvement can be great and can be gardening too, but maybe it could be real estate. And maybe we're leaning into more of the builders. So it's just a way to say, let's think about other things we could add into some of these special sections so we can extract dollars maybe from an industry that we're not getting from right now.
And these are
And
just some
then,
real estate ads we found. They're not sections, but they're just pertain to real estate. And the one on the left, it gets your attention. So it's one to consider.
and also
And
we were pointing out photos. Photos are such like when you look at an ad that has a photo and it grabs your eye. And so always thinking about how can you incorporate a photo into your advertising.
let's say take up more space. Cashton, 77 years. Cashton's been doing this. Well, I don't know if they're doing this guide, but they've been having this festival. Uh, it's a good festival. It's a guide, and the thing that we found was they sold it modular, so you can buy one of 3 or 4 sizes, and you don't have to mess around with all the other. It's full of advertising. It's full of information about the event. Shows their past queens and kings and the map in there and so forth. Um, but the modular selling we felt was something that you might want to consider. It makes it a lot easier, but sometimes you get what you get too. Veterans. This is honoring the veterans. As Green Bay did this. It drives readership because it has all the pictures of the different veterans in the area when they served and their names, and it's chock full of advertising because it's sort of like firemen. Who's gonna say no to supporting the firemen, or who's gonna say no to supporting the veterans? Um, and you probably work with your local VFW to get the photos and sponsor. And of course, with all these sections, you want to do advanced publicity a month or two with little house ad teasers and so forth that it's coming and so forth. And then from this, you could take away and maybe highlight veterans throughout the year from this. So your editorial could do, like say Vince Doboy, that served in World War II, and then again you could do Vincent Peglum and so forth. Um, but it's very good. And again, online imprint, just keep that online imprint in mind for everything you do. Um, Section on playoffs. This one we thought was interesting because it's not just a single community, but they put in multiple communities of Bangor, Sparta, Toma, and Cashton, and previewed what's happening in the playoffs, and they extracted advertising then from those areas that, of course, the schools hailed from. And again, high readership, and it showed a bracket for the playoffs and so forth, and just another tying into the sports. Wanakee, this one, the cover caught our eyes. It's a very well done. Wanakee's had a big tradition, long tradition of really successful football teams. So I'm sure it's an easy sell. They had a lot of big color pictures in it, chock full of advertisers, and it names and faces 101 newspapering. So just something to keep in mind that if you have a hot football team, why not take advantage of it? Not a series, but it ties into the athletics. Um, every community probably has some person, alumni or a former coach or somebody that you could highlight and work with your booster club or school or coaches or your AD at the school, whatever might have you, and look to celebrate an individual. Um, and oh, it just builds a lot of readership. And also, if there's colleges in your town, a small college or a large college, could work out. Staying in the sports world, gymnastics. This ad, again, though it's not in the special sections, but it just caught our eyes as the top pictures and the layout was just so exceptional. And if you're an advertiser in the bottom, you're proud to congratulate those girls in that really awesome layout. And of course, when you have layouts like this, future sig pages are a lot easier to sell. So let's pass that on. Now we're moving on to Christmas special sections.
Yay.
Hey,
The holidays, oh, guess. Well,
ho ho ho.
Tom plays Santa for me at different events. So, yeah, the holidays are a fun time to sell, and it's a great time to wrap up the year and thank their customers. So they use this section as their greeting section. But what made it stand out was, well, one, they had color throughout, and they went for content to all the first grade schools, private, parochial, and public, and they had all the first grader draw a picture of what Christmas looked like to them. And they're adorable. And then they had the third graders write a Santa letter, and that was enjoyable. But they mixed those sweet little things throughout with worship services and holiday schedules that are coming up and all the things going on downtown with the retail. So I think it was a fun way to incorporate all of the greetings, the thank yous, getting children in it with photos, and then the content that you want to keep this because it actually is a resource on attending different things in the community. So that was a special section, and that could be a fun one online too, because people can access it after it's printed and in the publication, so that other family members can see, what their grandchildren or so forth have written or colored about. Some other holiday ideas, just to kind of spark some ideas, but as you have a Santa Claus, maybe your company, your paper, gets a hold of a Santa Claus that you can now incorporate with other businesses in your community. So they would run an ad saying, hey, come out for breakfast with Santa. And then you would say to them, look, I'll have a Santa. Well, how many hours you need it? We'll help make that happen. And you can bundle all that fee into buying the ad. As you could do at a bakery, come out and have cookies with Santa, or the Santa's at the library. Santa's at a store sitting there in a chair. Bring your cameras. You don't have to pay to have this done. Someone there will be happy to take it, and drive traffic into a hardware store. The Christmas mailbox can either be at the newspaper, but it could also be maybe at the library, or maybe one of the retail stores would like to house it. And you could actually get those letters and use them in your greeting section too. But it's also a nice way for kids to have a place to drop off their letters to Santa. Then there's the 12 days of Christmas. So the last final 12 days, you could have a big push, and it's a giveaway. And you could have certain fun things that you come up with. Like there's gift wrapping night, and it's a nonprofit that comes out. It's a sponsored person that's going to pay and advertise it, that we're going to wrap presents this night. And then with the donation, if you wanted to give one, it would be going to the nonprofit that's sitting there, Girls Scouts, Boy Scouts. So that could be a fun way. You could do elf on the shelf. You get little elves and you can say, set these around in your store during the 12 days and they can, you spot the elf in the shelf on my store and this is what you would win that day. Take a photo, get it up on your website, get it up on your Facebook pages, have some fun and engagement. Have a poster that maybe you helped design and all their names are on it and they, pay a small fee for that. And it gives the universal to who all is participating in the 12 days of Christmas. So many things you can come up to engage people, music outside and carolers um and then my last one that is one of my favorites, because I can go on with Christmas for a long time. But is I love when you have it could be a full page and you have pictures of all the different types of fresh Christmas trees. There's so many to choose from, the Douglas fir and the Boston pine and you have all them, but people don't know the difference between them. And so maybe you talk a little bit on the fragrance of them and what type of needles are for hanging on them. And then you advertise it, it opens up to people that might not advertise otherwise, but your tree farms that are selling trees and fresh garland or wreaths and their gift shops and art and craft fairs that are around. And you can incorporate Christmas programs in it so that there's some readership and events and activities around the town. So I think it could be, I know, I could go, Christmas is fun. So, that could be a fun way of not just putting in, here's some Christmas tree farms, but some information around it to make it stick and readable. And again, that could be online, it can be in print, and you could even do some Facebook ads with that and have a little fun with it.
Oh, my wife loves Christmas. All right, moving on, special sections. We have design an ad. We found this section to be exceptional also. And they did the fifth graders in different communities. It wasn't just one community again. You really kind of have to branch out. And each child or fifth grader did an ad for each business, of course. And they put the photo of the child above the ad so that names and faces and I would suggest, I don't know if they did it, but to have the store that was sponsored, like the community bank, having that child's picture at the bank, and maybe in the window they'd have the child and the ad that they did, and kind of build that up and make it work. So, any comments or any questions? Kind of, we're just flying through all this stuff, but we sure would welcome any comments if anybody's doing something similar or.
And you can click off your mic and ask.
So design an ad is actually something we do over here in Amory as well. Excuse me. I that was actually my very first big project here when I started. And I absolutely loved it. It incorporates the community along with the schools and the kids, and it gives the kids a chance to learn about their community as well. Because you got to keep in mind that they're the future. They're going to be the ones that are going to be coming up and be the next customers and things like that. That, and I have kids, so it's always fun to incorporate them in whatever we can. So
That's really a good point, Donna, because even when you're selling it, it's an educational piece for them because they're learning about retail business.
yep. And so like
Or
the main steps is what we do is that we reach out to the schools, and then we reach out to businesses, and then we had this last year, we were able to have it to where each business had at least 3 different ads to choose from, and they pick their favorite, and then they are able to run the following weeks the other ads that were made for their business. And the kids absolutely love it because, like I said, they get to, look forward to, hey, did I get my picture in the paper? Do I? And of course, everybody gets a copy of it too. So they get to see their ads in the paper.
yeah, great input. Thank you.
Any other comments on, design that or other things we've spoken on? The interaction is excellent. Thank you, Donna. Let's see. We got oh no, I got this stuck one up here. There we go. Events post. A little controversy here, not really. This is an ad we found that basically it's a QR code that you click on and it takes you out of the newspaper or your publication to the online. And I don't know how much you want to be taking them out of your publication, but back and forth is a good thing. Your online dollars are a revenue source, so you got to be mindful of that. Last session we had, I can't remember what the gal's name was, but she was Amy. I don't think it was Amy. It was the other. Excuse me, but she said that she really didn't like QR codes in the paper. But we're just showing you an example of what could be, and the events page then could be like looked at as a special section of the paper and online type event. And all this we've been talking about for special sections need to tie into the, oh, we get back to the grid thing here, way back. Tie back to this. So when you're doing your planning, special sections, of course, is a big part of it. And I guess my question would be, if anybody wants to comment, how many special sections would you say you do at your publication per year? Do you do 2 a year, 3 a year, 1 every month, every other week? Any comments on special sections?
We probably
Okay.
have about 50, a ton,
How many?
about 50.
Really? Where are you from?
White Bear.
Okay. Can
So,
you, some of the ones that we haven't talked about, what are some unique ones maybe that you put out that were kind of fun that you could share with the group?
yeah, well, there's definitely similarities. Like we do the elf thing, we do the Santa letter. So there's a lot of similar stuff. I'm trying to think. We do, theme pages where we have a financial page. So we have like ads, and then we have our news write 12 months. They have to write something on financial. So those generate quite a bit of money. We have a senior one that we do. So kind of like the different sectors that, service, healthcare. We just make sure those are rotating, and I can send you some examples of those. Um, my gosh, we do so much. We do obviously all your fall and home, spring and home improvement. We do best of. There's just so much we do. We do a ton.
So do you have a full calendar that you do up ahead of time so that when you go to the advertisers and you can show them and they can pick and choose a little
Yeah.
bit at the beginning?
Yep, so we have, I'll see if I can show you quickly here on the camera. But we do a whole calendar, and then they can pick and choose. Of course, now I'm trying to find it, but it looks like this. It kind of has a front cover, and then when you open it, it shows you all the different things that we do.
That's amazing.
Wow.
And so, and that's driven through our CEO, Matt McMillan. He's very good about making sure we know upfront what we're
Sure.
rolling out for the year.
Yeah.
So when
Do you
you
have
sit
that
with your, excuse me.
I was gonna say, do you have that in a PDF form at all?
Yep,
Is it, if somebody requested, would you mind sending
Yep.
that to them?
yep. I
Wow,
can
thank
send
you.
it. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
So when you're doing that calendar, do you take the time on your big advertisers to sit with them and try to get a plan for the year, like so or do you have to continue like quarterly checking with them?
Yep, no, I mean, obviously we have the advertisers who want to plan for a year, but then we have the ones who want to go quarterly. So it's a little
Sure.
bit of a mix, honestly. But to our big advertisers, normally they're buying, like we have great places, great people coming up. We
Oh, wow.
always have like the big advertisers that always buy the inside front, the inside back, and the back.
Okay.
So those spots they typically will always carry over the next year and take that because they don't want to give that up, those premium positions up. But yeah, we're always having those discussions.
And then do you house them all, your special sections? Some of these are a page you said, but are they the section, if they're a section, are they on your websites?
Not all of them. We need to do a better job of that, but I think we primarily put up all of our community insiders on there. Our best of is on there, but not all of them are on there. No, we
Right.
probably
Will that
need
be
to
a lot?
better at doing it. Yeah, yeah.
Very good. I will be checking out your
Yeah,
website.
I'll I'll shoot over some information. I'm leaving early today, but I'll try and get you that tomorrow.
Hey,
Yeah, that's great. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
your first name is what?
Patty,
Patty. Okay, you got P.
so
So
I'm the general manager here at Press Publications.
okay, well, thanks, Patty.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else want to weigh in? Not putting you on the spot, but we just love sharing between the group. All right, advertising series. We'd like to kind of break down a little bit, thinking of you had special sections. Now you can have series of ads. And some of the series could be the library, people, volunteers, business of the year, things to do, outdoor report. We'll cover a couple of them, but try to think of how you can turn different events, ideas, or sectors into series of ads. Because one to sell 2x5, yeah, that's great, but if you can sell that 2x5 10 times in the year, that's a lot better, of course. So we're going to jump right in. Gail likes libraries, and we're going to maybe talk about that. Maybe we're going to talk about it.
So, well, I think that the library is the hub, the heartbeat of any community, and every age group uses it. So, and it's revenue that hasn't really been uncovered for selling, but there is a sponsor in your town that can be an ambassador for the library. And that would help the library out because they don't have a budget for marketing. So the library, every age is using it. It's usually open 6 days a week. And if you looked at the sector of untapped market, this could be yours. And it can be a monthly series of ads. It could possibly be a special section. And there's probably a financial institute that wants to be a part of that, say aligning with this library. People have donated to have their libraries expanded, and maybe there's a donor, maybe there's someone there that wants to be the ambassador sponsor, and you could have multiple. We wanted to just say, let's uncover a really good gem that every community has. And all these libraries are doing so many things. They host rooms that people can use. They have computers that people can borrow. They have recreational things you can take home now, pickleball paddles and volleyball nets. So I just think that what a great thing to align yourself with. And there is a library day, I believe it's in April, and you could even host, a special event there to have the public come, and you can be the ambassador of a really great thing in your community. And these are just a few ads that we saw people were promoting their library.
People there, go ahead, Gail.
So, the Sheboygan Press has done a great job of putting people and recognizing people in their community, and they get the advertising support from it. I think this could be something that gets maybe more than sponsorship ads, but I think you could look at different ones like the Volunteer of the Year. So if you're not doing any recognition sales, you could start with Volunteer of the Year. And the Volunteer of the Year could have a nomination form in print online that you can download. It can be for adults and doing good things. It can be for children that they're doing things as well that we can recognize them for. And so there are multiple things you can do. There's Business of the Year that's doing new and growing, and being a part of your community. There's the Executive of the Year, the Teacher of the Year, and so forth. So if we'll have this in our notes to you coming up, but it'll have more of the logistics of how to nominate someone, what are the ground rules, how this impacts the person and the community by recognizing these good things that are happening, and then how to pick a winner. So we'll share that information with you, but hopefully this is gives you an idea to say, hey, let's try something like this. And you can do what with you'd want. When you pick the winner, you can have a certificate, take a picture, put it in print, or you can host a luncheon if you think you want to sell a speaker and then do the award there and make it a little bit more robust. But it gives you a place to consider and start.
Weekly things to do. Another series you could look at. There's tons of topics there you could look at. You could, farmers markets if you have them, summer events, volunteer opportunities, plays. But just think of how you could make a series of ads with targeting or using the things to do concept. Every community has tons and tons of things to do. You're the newspaper, the hub of the community, the pulse of the community. So why not take advantage of all the different things that you could make a weekly series out of with this things to do concept. Another one I found it's kind of fun was the weekly outdoor report. It's not just a fishing report, but it's an outdoor report. Photos. You have a lot of pictures. Talk about hunting. You can talk about mushroom hunting. And of course, the fishing. Make it a series. Find your different advertisers. Here's a slide that shows tons of different ideas. Again, this will be available to you afterwards. But why not look at the outdoor market instead of just your weekly athletics? As a source of revenue. Wisconsin's chock full of outdoors, so don't forget that as a series. Go ahead, Gail. Another series.
And we've seen this in different papers as we've been reviewing them, that they do pet of the week. It could be pet of the week. It could be pet of the month. People love their pets. So it could be pets in your community that are trying to get adopted. It could be send in your photo of your pet, and you could have a theme with it at Christmas time, or send in a picture of your pet traveling on vacation. But it has a wide audience of advertisers that probably don't advertise usually. But you have the pet care, you have people that board pets, especially during the holidays. This might be a good one too. You have people that are getting their pets trained, grooming, GPS trackers now anymore. Everybody's getting them in their yards, and food and so forth. So there's a lot of advertising revenue that can happen here, and one to explore. And these are just some cute pictures of pets and layouts.
And the veterinary one. A vet put this together. It's love your pet, but it's dealing again with pets. But it's sort of like Subaru. Subaru found that pets really sell, so don't be scared to use pets in your marketing. Teen of the Week, a series that Prairie du Chien did. Excellent. It's not just athletes in action or just band members, but it's overall how these students excel and their attributes and a little bit of who they are and so forth. I like it. You can do it every week and find different teen and fill up the whole thing. And again, think of an out of the box advertiser to sponsor these, or maybe not just one sole sponsor, but maybe this month there'd be a sponsor by the chiropractic, and the following month would be the ag repair guy, whatever. Um, so we've gone through all these different series ideas. That's kind of been the theme of this latest. So anybody have any series that they would be noteworthy or interesting, or something that they don't usually we haven't talked about, or you could add to the group? If not, that's fine, but we just have open mic if you want to. All right, moving along. Standalone ads. I'm going to just kind of go through these, not spend a lot of time on them and put you to sleep, but different ads that we found that we would like to highlight and talk about. This one, of course, most areas have a county fair. You have the 4-H, and you want to, recognize those. The pictures make it nice color pictures, and the ribbons, and it's just an excellent layout. Again, go after different advertisers that you don't usually get, your banks or your whatever, but maybe a feed dealer that gets some co-op money and so forth. But try to find somebody besides the regulars and these kind of things. This one was done by a State Farm agent, June Dairy Month, and they created a parking lot party. And it's if you have some State Farm agents or insurance or whatever might have you, but during Dairy Month it looks like a fun promotion. That's not a lot of work, of course. Anything's work, but you could run that in June. And then we have the Dairy Queen. They sponsored a skills trade month, and it talks every week One of the trades gets, what do they get, a blizzard? And, the first week of May is construction, and then the 19th to 25th, transportation equipment, agricultural. It's just a different way to maybe look at promoting, and of course, this would have to run weekly, so you got a 4-week series here. So just another idea that we're passing on to you. Memorial Day, Gail, you want to speak to that?
Sure. So Memorial Day, this is just another angle. So if you do a section, this is a way maybe to bring in a different advertiser you might not always have, which is a funeral home did a page on honoring and remembering the people that passed away in that year. And by incorporating the logo of where they served, the Navy, the Army, and Air Force, and what a great tribute. And you would take the time to look at it. Now, you could even open this up on your website and in print. You can run ads in print to drive them to your website to fill out a form that someone in their community or someone, a loved one that they know, has passed away that has served, or they don't even, it doesn't have to be in that year. It could be whenever they passed away and where they served, and honoring multiple generations. So it could be a twofold. It could be a dive into just one, like the funeral home, or you could open it up and then you could sell ads around that when your community is sharing loved ones that they want to honor and respect and remember.
Pizza Wars. This is kind of a fun one. During October, it's National Pizza Month, so get your pizza this month. Um, and they had a war between the pizza places, but they'd had the percentage goes to, and I don't know what percentage, goes to the homeless shelter. So it's a neat concept and ad that maybe the advertisers share the cost, or I don't know how it exactly works, but I like the idea. Uh, Another good advertising idea would be American Family sponsored this pancake breakfast, and they had a coats drive. So you're engaging the community, you're helping the kids. It's just a neat concept that you could take to one of your advertisers and say, hey, maybe look at this because there's a lot of goodwill in this whole concept. Cheese Days. This is sponsored by a brewery, I believe, or a um, winery, but Wisconsin and cheese go together. And why not tap on income source for like your local distillery? There's microbrews all over the place now, regionally and everywhere you look. Wineries are popping up all over. So maybe just an idea you could take out to them and find some dollars that you normally wouldn't get. Um, you're selling Taste of Fenimore. You actually have to buy tickets to this event. It's a pretty cool event, but it all happens March 30th at different locations, and it's just a good advertising thing that you take around. Make sure you get cash up front for these restaurants. Okay, let's unscramble.
So that could be, we thought it could be a retail way to have fun, or whatever sector you want to pull into, but you could have words from different retail stores and they have to unscramble it, and you have a little prize. And I think it's just a fun little thing if you wanted to throw some fun into the advertising's mix, and just kind of, it's a giveaway, and people have to take the time to sit, and they like to do crossword puzzles and all those kind of things. So we just saw that and thought it could be a little fun thing to throw in there for a change up.
Catch the walleye. This one is interesting and looks like a lot of work. Or I can't understand exactly, but you catch Walter the walleye, and they tag an actual walleye and let it loose in the lakes on the area. And if you catch this fish, you're going to get a bunch of bush light. Uh, but it runs all summer, and it runs different bars. You can get details and so forth. So I'm guessing that somebody maybe did not catch that walleye that year, but it's kind of fun, and it's you kind of bounce it around and go between different bars and taverns, and it would run all summer, not just because this I think this ad kicked off in January, yeah, January 3rd. So and then it starts on March 3rd. So there you go. A boundary dispute. A lawyer, they don't usually advertise, but this one caught our eye. the lawyer obviously has a little personality, and he makes a point there, or people are having issues with their neighbor, let's say. Santa, he came to help. So just a different idea, and maybe another way that you could think of other things that you can involve lawyers in. Some of the more aggressive ones, they find a way to advertise. And this one, it's a house ad, but boy, it sure caught our attention. And if you see you can't really see it very good, but the page that this ad is on, the only thing you see is that baby with that face. So it's again an eye-catching ad that is going to be there. So when you're constructing ads and selling ads, don't be scared to use babies because they catch your eye. But a baby like this really would work. Okay.
And I
So
have one thing, to add, as we're going through this is, thinking of different sectors that maybe you're not tapping into, since we have an extra minute, but if you think of the nonprofits, there could be a nonprofit section that you do, or a pull out, or a standalone, but your nonprofits want to get awareness out on what they're working on and the events
Right.
that they're holding. And so if the nonprofit, and they have money though, you can approach them to see if they want to purchase an ad to be in this, and it's an awareness section or guide about the nonprofit, because they make a difference in your community. They make it a better place to live, work, and play. And so doing something for your nonprofits, you can get community support of advertising that way as well. And I think that's a real good feel-good section, and that's one that should go up on the website and stay there throughout.
All right, now we're at question and answer, and let's learn from each other. Open it up, open mic thing again. But maybe one thing that you gained today, or one thing that you might take away and implement, would be the one question if Patty or Donna or whoever would want to answer. Also, share maybe an idea that is perking up in your head that maybe you'd like to share. So open mic, anybody want to share?
Yeah, I mean, I just think kind of like what Gail was just talking about, that nonprofit. I just wrote that down. I actually really like that. And I don't know that we as a newspaper showcase, I mean, we're always running about nonprofit events in our editorial with our news departments, but I don't know that as an advertising team that we really go after any of that. So that was a great idea. I mean, I wrote down, we do a veterans page for the holidays and for Veterans Day, but making it, instead of maybe a pull-out page, making it more a bigger thing. And so I kind of like that idea. It's so hard because every year it's just trying to find, the right special section that's going to bring in the bottom line. And sometimes you run them and they're good for a couple years and then they're not good anymore. So which is why I'm on this whole thing.
Oh,
Trying
that's
to find
good.
new ideas.
The library, I think too, could be something, because
Yeah, I wrote that one down as well too. Yeah.
yes, and I think to your point, we did hear several people when we, back at the conference day, saying it's hard to keep something, to keep it going and to bring new life to it. And I think sometimes it starts with a new front cover, and it starts with different types of stories that you might get in there and angles. And again, you just running with your camera every day that you're out getting a picture, and then the house ads that build up for it. Those are all good, and then getting it out there and having it stick on the website gives that just the longer shelf life.
Yeah, and I think
Sure.
we've just come into like the predicament that, everybody's always, they're definitely doing digital and there's new things all the time. And so I think we have to, as a newspaper and as a entity, we've got to be coming up with new ideas all the time because, what worked in the past is probably not going to be working all the time.
Sure.
It's good.
Like
Thank you, Patty.
one of
Donna, go ahead, Donna.
one of our sections that I don't believe we're running this year is the wedding guide,
Oh, yeah.
which I have been told by my predecessors and my other coworkers that it just, for some reason, it went downhill. It worked for a good year or two and then all of a sudden like plummeted. So I don't know how to bring that one back or how to even start looking into that, but
So
that's,
one thing I would say, you know, and I think it's when we start incorporating the face to face. So if you take the wedding guide and get what you can kind of get with that, but those people that actually run in there have the opportunity. We did this. We had a wedding show. I mean, we took it to the whole new whatever. We had dresses, and I mean, I wouldn't even recommend all this. You could have a few of it, but the advertisers,
not
man,
right away, right? Not the
they
first year.
just
Don't go
ran
all
with
out
it.
first year.
But yeah, the first year, but see what happens is, can they talk to the photographer? Can they talk to, and these guys, could they book there and get a special discount? And so I would say, if you're interested in doing that, how can you couple those two things together and see if you can bring life to getting that? Now you get the one-on-one, and it doesn't have to be really long either. It could be a Sunday, maybe for 4 hours. We did it at the Marriott, rented a room and had tables, and I think it's when you start putting them in face to face because other people aren't doing that.
Yeah,
It
Donna,
also,
we just did our 40 years here at White Bear Press for a wedding show.
Oh,
And it
wow.
used to be 8 hours and now it's down to 3. But I think people are just, it's still a success. We still, like Gail was talking about, we still sell ads to it, but it's a down and dirty, get in, get out. We do it once a year at a hotel. So I do have info on that if you need it. And
Okay.
yeah, that's
and
good. Thank you for
we only
sharing.
do 25 booths. I don't make it a big thing. It's kind of like when
Right.
we sell out and we turn people away and say, well, you know what? We sent it all out and the first 25 got back to us and that's what we can fit.
That's perfect. See, then that gives it urgency too, because there is limited space. And the other thing, don't charge to get in there.
Yeah. Yep.
The other thing, like we did, and we had success with it, was we did a garden tour and the landscapers. So you did this section, but then what we did is, and it had a page in it where these homes were, and people opened up. So they went to their people that they were landscaping their homes, including their own homes. Some of them opened. And then we had nonprofits come and we charged a small fee to be able to run around at this. And they got the door money. So they actually worked to greet people and tour them around. So you brought in the nonprofit, that was cool. And then they're trying to sell people the idea because this is their fundraiser. And then we would bring the people come in to see and talk to people. Even some of the garden centers said, hey, we'll do it. They can come in here. We'll have a coupon for them to come in here. So you might want to try to think of, how can we get them? We did a Victorian home tour. We had 4 Victorian homes. We decorated them for Christmas. And then we had a Santa Claus at another spot. And it just made the town alive. And while the retail was running, there's their big, Christmas holiday kickoff. So I think trying to get some engagement in there and then capture all these photos and put it up. And then next year, those photos help you sell it again the next year. Because look at the turnout.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
One comment that I would inject would be, Patty talked about the special sections, and sometimes you have to look at them for the profitability of it. You can put a lot of money and editorial and effort into a special section, and at the end of the day, it's actually might have cost the company money. So, kind of be mindful of what those sections can bring in and what they cost to put out. So, any other comments or ideas you want to share? They might have something unique that they did this year. Okay. And we're planning for 2026 right now. So, sharpen your pencil. You got October, you kind of start going at it. In November, you really get into it. And by December, you better have it all planned out. So, going back to some of the market segmentation ideas and planning, plan your work and work your plan type thing. So, really, it's fun to do it. And you can see Gail gets all excited and has a lot of enthusiasm, put enthusiasm into what you do. And it works
Well,
out great.
and a couple things just before we close. Patty, I like that you said this because I didn't realize people could still even do it. but you're selling placement. And I don't know if everyone's doing that or not. I applaud you for that, because if these advertisers, they want the back page, or they want page 3 or page 5, you're saying, yeah, you can get it, you can reserve it, and it better land there when it comes out in print. But that's great.
Yeah, the new reps get frustrated when they come in, and another
Oh.
rep's like, nope, my customer's always got first right of refusal and they've had it. So it sometimes causes, but it's good. It creates the demand of like, hey,
Yep.
and
Perceived value too. Yep. Yep.
yeah, we always say to them at the end of, after prints, like, do you want first right of refusal for next year? I need to know now, otherwise I'm opening it up. And they're like, no, I'm in, put me in it. So it kind
That's
of
awesome.
gets them to say yes already for next year.
Yeah, I mean, that could, I what I like about it too is it could be a tool, like they don't answer you right away, and I want to do this, but I kind of want to do this, but I don't really know. It would be interesting to say, well, look, I can get you a placement spot if you want. You can get, and I wonder if that would help get them back or get them in the section saying, look, I can get you in this position.
Yeah, yeah.
I like it. The other thing I would just throw out to everybody is follow other, like there's people talking today, follow the people that are doing different things, go to their websites, see what they're doing. And even in other states, just Google them and check out some other states where you think, hey, what are they doing? Do they have any ideas that you might be able to incorporate? Or I sometimes even just will listen to the TV or watching the TV. I mean, no one has ads too much anymore, but I used to sell TV. So I would just see what my competitor stations were running. And then I'd be like, hey, I want to try to incorporate that. And if I'm too late to get it right now, I would put it in my schedule to look at for next year. I would also do that with radio. I would drive on different generational, radio stations and go, oh, they're really into this, they're really driving that. And I would write that down because they have money in radio right now, but maybe they want to move some into where I'm at. And then, of course, the billboards and magazines too. So just kind of looking out there to see who's doing what and how maybe you can tap into some of that revenue as well.
Very good. And we'd like to thank you for your time. And again, thank WNA for making this possible. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll make sure the slide deck gets sent out to you. Any other comments or anything you wanted to say, Donna?
Nope, I
No?
think we're
Okay.
good. Thank you,
I
guys.
just saw you unmuted,
You're
so
welcome. You're
yeah.
welcome. And I'll email you too, kind of give us some of the talking notes that we talked on so that you have that as well. And Amy will be emailing out the presentation slides so you can look through those and get a better idea if you wanted to see what publications they came from and so forth. And truthfully, our emails are out there, and several people have emailed us and had some questions or asked if they could bounce some things off of us. And we're happy to be available for that as well.
And the
Thank
next
you.
session would be November 13th. It's not a Friday, so that's good. So if you have some, it works out, we'd sure love to see you then. So, and
Thank you,
Amy, I don't know
guys.
if you want to say something, but
Welcome.
Nope, I'm good. I thank you guys for hopping